All right, guys, what we got for you today is a VoSwitch. We have the VoSwitch for the Jeep JL. It's the JL800, the 8 switch. So there is the grab hand pillar switch. Here's the control box. Really sweet way it mounts. We'll get into that as we go on. This is install video. And then here's all your instructions, stickers, everything like that. This was sent to me from VoSwitch, so I did not pay for this. But we're going to install it and give it a try. Everything I've seen says it's great product, works great. It's got good heavy-duty circuitry in it. I know a lot of people question solid state versus relays, but we'll see. Absolutely great instructions. I looked over them. Easy to understand, easy to read. So anyway, this thing, guys, comes with this super nice bracket, it goes maybe right here like this. So you got this existing bolt hole, then you got to undo this bolt, and then it sits right there, just clean as can be. And then, you know, your cord that goes over here and your cord that goes over here. And in the instructions, it does say make sure you hook both the positive and the negative directly to the battery. So don't take this off of your ground lug over here or anything like that. Directly to the battery, which when we get to that part, I will show you guys. I'm going to do things just a tad different on my install. It has you make a jumper off the fuse box that's to keyed ignition, which is perfect, great. 99% of you guys, that's exactly how you're going to install it. I, on the other hand, have the accessory package on my truck, the auxiliary switch package. So, and because you can change your features and have power, keyed power, full-time power, all that, I'm going to power the VoSwitch off of one of those outlets in there so that I can control the VoSwitch, whether my Jeep's on, off, all that, because I've got a lot of lights on here, as you can see. Got lights there, lights up front here, lights in the back. And some of you guys watching this install video won't be familiar with what I do. I do a lot of off-road recoveries, and a lot of those are at night because people wait to the last minute to ask for help. And so we're out there in the dark rescuing them. So having a lot of lights is extremely helpful. So that is why I purchased the switch, so that I could have more control over my lights, what ones I want on, which ones I want off. The factory auxiliary switch kit, fantastic, but limits how much you can actually wire to it. So the JL800 gives me a lot more options to wire stuff to. And we're going to get started on that right now. So we're going to start in the interior on this. You can start where you want. You can start at the battery box and work in. You can start here and work out. Me, I'm going to start right here and work my way that way. So anyway, first thing you do, A pillar's got to come off, because of course that's where the handle mounts. So do believe we start by popping this off, and I want to say these are 10 millimeter, but let me double check. Yep, 10 millimeters. So we'll get our handy dandy little tool out. Now, in the instructions, it tells you to take this out the wire out and through the bottom corner here of the A-pillar windshield, through and out and around. Now, a lot of people probably already know this, but right down here, there's a grommet in the firewall. I'll show you when we get out there, that is designed for running stuff in and out through here. So you don't have to go through that windshield. But if you don't feel comfortable or you don't feel like you can do that, the windshield route is a piece of cake. Undo the bolts across the top, undo that. The windshield leans forward. There's a nice little groove right there, runs around, tucks under your cowl, runs across there. So it is absolutely an option. I will not tell you it is not. But I have already ran radio and everything else through that grommet, so I'm very familiar with running stuff through there. I already have the grommet done up. Once you get these two bolts out, just like that, there's the second bolt. We'll set it down over here for now. This comes right out. Now, this is attached right down here underneath this speaker cover. So you're gonna want to pop this up, and it's just held on by little clips, and then see that comes right off. We will set this over here, come back to that in a minute, and as you can see these little clips there, they just go down here in these little holes and lock in. And then once you're done with that, set that off to the side there. And you got these wires run all the way up here. Once you have that, we have these little guys to contend with. So, on the back here, you will see these little arrows. Don't know if that shows up on the camera or not. Kind of hard to see. Anyway, you got these little arrows. You pinch them, and they go right back through the hole they're in. Real easy. I tell you, it's real easy, and then it fights me. So, see? It comes right off. Repeat it again on this side. Again. Just pinch. Tuck. Boom. Comes right off. So we are reusing this part. We do have to drill a hole right here for the wire to pass through in order to get to the backside here. I'm going to go get the handle and drill and be right back, guys. Okay, guys, we're back. I set up here on the tailgate real quick. So here's the switch. This is the wire I'm talking about. So this power button, this is up, so it goes just like that. So this wire right here, we need to drill a hole right there so this wire can pass through there. So we got to drill one, roughly that size right there. So we got our drill bits. It says 20 millimeter in the instructions. I don't have metric drill bits. Don't know anyone that does. So, but for those of you playing along at home, 20 millimeter is roughly ½ an inch. So, and just to show you, you have the drill bit set, and then see 20, the thing goes right through there. But if you downsize to the 3/8, it doesn't fit through there. So, and now to poke a hole in my Gladiator. So, we have a hole. See? Nice and easy. So now this should feed through there. Guess what we didn't take into consideration? The nut. We need to make that hole just a little bigger. All right, we're going to make this hole just a little bigger. Let's see if that will accommodate the nut on our wire. Get this little piece of plastic out of the way. Nope, we are so close though. So apparently 20 millimeter is definitely bigger than ½ inch. I mean, the proper thing to do would have been to Google it. But come on guys, honestly, who does that? Actually, a lot of people do. It's the smart thing to do. And success. It went through. Nice and tight even. So cool. Let's clean up this couple little plastic burrs we got here. Well, we're standing here, by the way. I noticed this on this sticker sheet for your switches. Down here, you have the alien button, the Mothman button, Sasquatch, and the turn something on. Wonder if that works for your wife. You never know. So anyway, guys, bad joke, I know. Wire through hole, switch panel in place, and just like that, looks factory. I love it. Okay guys, got the cable. Gonna connect the cable right here to this. Oops, I think I just dropped my O-ring. This plugs in here. It only goes one way. It's got a little directioning tab on it. So, super easy install, guys. This really is. Anyone with any basic knowledge can do this. Literally, the hardest part on this is going to be wiring up the wires in the box itself. And when we get to that, I'll show you. Even that's not hard, guys, at all. So here's our wire. We will tuck it. Lots of room here. Just tuck it off to the side of your bolt, right there. Nothing gets pinched, nothing gets caught. And then it comes right down here, out the bottom. And then we'll tuck it down here, and we'll go up underneath the dash and go out that grommet. So I am going to get this back in here. That's it. That was all it was. The wire was right in the freaking way. Okay. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Just like that. We now have our Torx. And we have our new screw. Your Torx socket isn't going to work. So, yeah, that goes way down in there. Good grief. This almost isn't even long enough. Okay. Second bolt. Bottom hole. As you can see, that only leaves that much of the screwdriver. That thing is in there deep. All right. So, yeah, good and solid. just like it was from factory. Only now it has 8 beautiful switch options. So at this point, go ahead and put your speaker back in. Speaker covers. Okay, guys, we got that all installed. Now we run the wire down behind through here. Comes out the bottom here. Now you got this little panel that pops off. Most of you are very familiar with that because it's the one you use to access your door wiring. So once you get that wire down there, you'll come in through here and you're going to go back up underneath here, and right above the brake pedal, about right here on the firewall, is that grommet I'm talking about. I'm going to crawl up underneath here and get that wire ran and through there, and we will get back together in the engine bay. Right down there, see that hole right there by the brake booster? That is where this grommet right here comes out of. As you see, I have the center of it drilled out, and then here's the wire for the switch. Now, what we're going to do next is, see this channel here? We're going to undo a couple of these bolts and open this little channel up. And this channel is where all the wires run. Keeps it very clean, keeps it very protected, all that good stuff. Now these don't have to come all the way off, they're just a little tightener. Now the ones that have to come all the way off are these two. The ones that hold your expansion tank on. Those come all the way off. Set your nuts up there out of the way, and then, see that? Just lifts right off. Piece of cake. You got these little tabs right here. I just use 2 tools. One flat blade to loosen the clip, and the other tool to open it. Just like that. And I will bring you guys over here in a second and show you exactly what's going on. These little clips right there, that's what I'm loosening up with a flat blade. You just go in it like that. You go, boop, and that comes right out of there. And then this opens up. And as you can see, I've already ran a couple wires through there. And we're going to open it up all the way across. Now you've ran that through all that channel, say, and then you just go back and you lock those little tabs back together. And like I said, turns out we didn't need to undo those. So, word to the wise, don't undo those. So, lock those all back in. And see, they just snap right back in. And then you're left with about this much cord. And that comes right over here to this little guy right here. And it connects right there. So the excess cord will just tuck down in this little hole. This is the factory wiring harness, like I told you about, for the switch controller in there. We're going to power this box off of switch number 4, the blue wire. That allows me to power this on and off, control this however I want to control it, versus the jumper fuse they give you that goes off of a fuse in there that's keyed. So the only way this works is when the key's on. I wanted more options, more control. That's the only reason I'm going the way I'm going. But if your vehicle is not equipped with factory switches, like mine, then you just use the jumper lead that comes in the kit, and you go off of radio fuse, or just anything that's switched in here, 10, 15 amps. I'd have to look at the instruction. I want to say it's 15 amp fuse. So anyway, let's get to getting this hooked up real quick, guys. This, like I said, guys, it mounts right here. There is already a factory bolt hole there, and they provide you a bolt that fits right in the existing unused hole. It's thread nutted and everything, so comes with the bolt. All you have to do is take this fender bolt out. And again, like we've said all day, 10 millimeter, if I can grab the right socket. See, 10 millimeter. Just about everything on this Jeep is 10 millimeter. And fun fact, every bolt on a JK 3.6 liter water pump is a 10 millimeter. Ask me how I know. I was supposed to do this last weekend. Instead, did a water pump on the wife's Jeep. So, again, bolt comes out. This goes right here in that factory bolt hole. And the bolt they supply you with goes right here. Go back to in. And just like that. We are now technically installed. So we're going to attach the wires. Ground wire, power wire, and again we're going to go off the blue wire off of my system. You guys may be different. You guys may use the fuse and the switch panel. So gonna trim this wire down. It's way more than we need. There is a hole right here, so you can run your wires under and come up and out and go right into the box. So this goes down through here, and they do provide a nice red cover, so it locks in right there like that. And this will go over here to the positive. It is fused, good nice fuse. So tuck your excess down in there. And that goes there. This one just goes straight over here to the ground. Simple, easy. So we will get this wire attached now. Get your shrink tube. Slide it over ahead of time. Trust me, you'll regret if you don't. You'll have to cut it all back off and do it again. So get your second wire in here. Crimp it down nice and tight. Slide your heat shrink over. We'll grab our heat gun. These shrink tubes that I use have glue inside of them. So once they shrink down, they also seal tight, watertight. I like to use those under the hood. Keeps corrosion and everything else down from happening. I'm going to also put a shrink tube on my couple remaining factory wires here, just to protect those so they don't short on anything if they get turned on. So until I need them for something else. All right, as you can see, all nice and clean and protected. We will now tuck these back down here. Don't need those anymore. Save those for later. Close this so we don't spill it. Set it out of the way. All right, now we still have our control wire that we ran through the box over here. So we will now run that down here, tuck the excess down here in the hole. You have this really nice little area that gives you tons of space to tuck extra wires. Actually, before I tuck it, I'm gonna zip tie it up. I don't like wild wires. Never have. Turn that off. Right. That tucked down in that hole there. And then once that is tucked down in there, you'll see right here coming out of the box is the connector plug. Push that together nice and tight. It's got a nice watertight O-ring. And screw it together. Once that's done, tuck that down in there. Now, we've got the ground to attach. That's 10 millimeter. Or actually, I don't think so. I think it's a 13. Yeah. Right here on Jeeps is a grounding lug. The middle bolt is the one you want to ground off of. The one on the left is your main grounding strap to the whole vehicle. You don't want to put stuff on that because if you get loose connections and stuff, you lose your whole body ground and all that. So make sure you go off the center lug that is meant for adding grounding wires. Now, we're going to take the ground lug off the top of here. And we're going to tuck that wire up underneath there, because we like to make it look clean. And we'll get that nut on there. So we have the wires that come out of there. We have the connection right here. That goes into there. And then this is the ground lug. This is the ground lug I was talking about. This is the middle one. Connect to the middle one. So, and then, like I showed you, these are my factory switch wires. Number 4 is the blue-purple wire. That's the one I'm using. It is the low amperage one, which is what this requires, low amperage. So then ground wire comes around, attaches. Positive cable is going to come around and attach right there, like that, on that one right there. So let me get the socket out, get that undone, and we'll go from there. And I will show you that it powers up, and we can, then we'll get all the we'll get all the switches, or all the lights wired up to the switches. Once I'm done doing that, I will bring you guys back and we'll do a full demonstration. That is the whole switch, guys. And then you'll see here, you got all your connections. These are all your positive connections. Your positive connections come in through here. Over here is your ground bus bar. This is where your ground connections go. And there is room to bring your wires up through here, to go into here, and then your ground wires can run underneath and just come out right there and just go into them one by one. So that is all of it. All of these are 30 amps. So you can run quite a heavy lights, whatever you're looking at on it. So let's go inside real quick and show you that it powers up, and we'll go from there. So touch the power button, the lights go off. They're not a constant on. So power it on. That tells you you're activating it. It makes a really good, solid click noise, so you know it's there. And then, like I said, we'll come back and I will demonstrate the lights for you, and I will demonstrate all of the color changing and setting abilities on this. You have options for flashing, color change, constant on, one button, turn on multiple lights at once, and then once they're on, you can turn each one off. So we will go through all that next. Okay, guys, I got everything cleaned up. I got the wires run like I said I would. So now all my lights are ran. Everything's all cleaned up, wrapped, shielded, in place. Let's open this up and show you guys. Again, super easy install. So here's your switch connections 1 through 8. I'm using 1 through 5. Over here, these are your ground connections. Again, 5 grounds, 5 connections. There is the panel right there. So it's defaults factory to blue. I stuck switches on there for my purposes. I have my front bumper lights. I have my A-pillar lights. I have my hood light. Then I have my rock lights. And then I have my backup reverse bumper lights. And then just for the fun of it, we turned something on Sasquatch and stealth mode, because they're unused at the moment. Now I will be using the turn something on button as the quick button. You press that and it'll turn everything on all at once. Start by making sure it's off, and then press and hold for 3 seconds, the power button. And now it comes back on. And now we can choose our color. You have blue, you have white, red, green, back to blue again. So let's set it to green. And then you press and hold the power button again. It'll power off. Now it's set. Just like that. Piece of cake. So now that we set a color, I'll show you. A-pillar lights. See, they come right on. Off. On. Bumper or hood light comes on. So we can set up a flashing if you want. Everything is pretty much done through the power button and holding for 3 seconds. So we'll press and hold for 3 seconds. Then we'll choose the hood light. So there is on. There is the first flash mode. And there's the next flashing mode. There's that one. And there's this one. This one there. And then back to just constant on. So for the sake of this, we'll just choose that. And then now that that's set and you can see the little thing is flashing, this will also flash to the same as what that is. So even if you're choosing a light you can't see, you can see that that's flashing. So then press and hold for 3 seconds. Bam. Now, when you turn on that light, okay guys, that was lack of understanding on my part. I activated a feature I didn't even know this thing had. So when we turned on the light, see, it should have been flashing. But when you select flash 3 or flash 6, it's a dual option choice. So you get this, but if you do this, press it twice really quick, now you get your flashing. Press it, it's off. Press it once, it's on. Press it really fast, twice, and you get that. So, kind of cool, huh? So then, we got the next option on there is, like I said, and you can program that for every one of your switches, the flashing. The next thing we're going to show you is the high-low option. So, say you guys are wiring this for whatever reason to your vehicle for headlights and you need high and low beam. So you're going to turn it off and you're going to press and hold switch number 1. And now you're going to press and hold any 2 switches you want. I'm going to use these 2 right here. And now you see they set. And now press and hold for 3 seconds. Now we'll turn it on. Now you got low beam, high beam. See the way it switches between the 2 of them? Low beam, high beam. So that's simple as that. Now for the next setting, the master switch setting, it won't let you set anything that is programmed to something else. So I'm going to show you guys how to master reset. and that is button 6 and 8. Turn it off, press 6 and 8, hold it. You'll see it flash, and now you see it's back to blue again. So now everything is back to completely the way it was out of the box. It's like the hood light on, off. We press it twice real fast, it doesn't do anything, so everything's back. So we will now turn it off, press and hold. On comes our color choices. We will go to green. Now, one of the things I did discover is this has a dimming feature also. So button number 8 will lower the lighting. See how it's getting darker? And button 6 brightens it. So if any of you guys find this panel to be too bright, go in there and set your dim level. Hold it for 3 seconds, off, back on, we're color set. Now we're going to do a master switch, guys. So master switch, off, press and hold the number 1 switch. It'll go into settings mode. Okay, now we are going to use the turn something on button. So you press and hold switch number 2. And now we're in master switch mode. Then you choose the switch that you want as the master switch. We're going to use the turn something on switch. Press and hold it for 3 seconds. Now it goes dark. Now we can turn this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. So you'll see they're all flashing except for the turn something on button. That is your master switch. Now press and hold the power button for 3 seconds. Bingo. Now, turn something on. Yes, we did. And as you can see, everything come on there, everything come on there. And then, if you want, the cool thing with the master switch is even though it turns everything on, you can come back and go, yeah, I don't need that light, I don't need that light, don't need that light. And so you still have these 2 lights. And you press it off, everything goes. Everything's on, everything's off. So that's the basics of this switch, guys. Hope you guys found this install video useful. And again, this switch was compliments of VoSwitch. Really appreciate them sending this out for us to give it a test run and make an install video for you guys. You guys get out there and enjoy your vehicles, you know. That's what we do over here at Johnny's Off-Road Adventure. We do Jeep mods, we go out and do off-road recoveries, just all kinds of stuff. But that's why I needed all the extra lights and stuff for the off-road recoveries I do. So appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming along in this install. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section, and I will answer back to you the best of my knowledge. Like, subscribe, and have a great day, guys. Thanks again.